Hello, this is Stories and Spoilers, the podcast. My name is Alyssa. I am your host, and I am here with my friend Janessa. We just did an episode about her podcast discussing how Stella got her groove back. And I'm just so excited to have you on the podcast. Yes, Read the Book First
For
is one of my
having
favorite
me.
pods. So I'm happy to have you on mine again.
So nice.
Yes. How's your day
Yeah.
going? Let's do a quick check in.
Yeah, day's been going great. We chatted about a fun movie. Definitely go check out episodes with Alyssa. They're so fun. I love having a bookish friend in the podcast world. It's great. But yeah, Read the Book First. We are a book to movie adaptation focused podcast. So one week my guest and I read a book, talk about it. Then the following week we talk about its movie or TV show adaptation, the good and the bad, the why did they do that to us, all of the above. Yeah. So
I'm overall excited to have you on the podcast because this summer is like right here, which is
yes.
code for like reading near the pool, reading on your lunch break, reading at your local grocery store. Pretty much just a regular day, just reading in the
hmm
summertime.
I
So,
love reading outside, and as soon as it gets above 60 degrees, I'm out there on my hammock reading. I love it.
ooh, you have a hammock? What the heck?
Yeah, yeah. I
Oh,
mean, I got it during COVID I'm stuck at home. I need to do something else, and now I use it all the time. So shout
that's
out Pastor
pretty
Janessa.
cool. Okay, okay. My family, one of my family members has a hammock, and I remember just like laying out there in the summertime and like listening to music on my phone. I'm like, oh,
hmm
we love a hammock. My reading
hmm
spot is just like my bed. It's my bed, but I have a window near the bed. So like I like to have the window open. I play
Yeah.
like of YouTube videos of like read with me. Or like I'll play
hmm
like a coffee shop music, like
I love
lo-fi.
an aesthetic lo-fi video. Yes, and I
Yeah.
always find I'm a big seasonal person, so I like watching like summer movies in the summer or like summer books, which we'll obviously talk about, or like the lo-fi has to be a summer scene. Yes, I love
Ooh,
it.
I'm
I
here for
love
these
setting the
vibes.
atmosphere. hmm
Okay. Also, what are you drinking today? I'm having a hibiscus tea with honey.
I have some coffee that I heated up in the microwave because it was from yesterday.
You know what? And that is delicious. I'm here
In
for
this
it.
economy, if I don't finish my coffee, it goes in the fridge. It's for the next day.
You know what? I'm sitting here like I would get tea or like chai tea at like cafes. Unless I'm going to silent
hmm
book club, I don't really
hmm
go to like coffee shops anymore. Because I'm
Yeah.
looking like I could just buy it the box at my local Publix and like get some
hmm
honey and or from maybe from like a farmer's market, and I just kind of have my
Yeah.
tea at home.
Yeah.
In this economy, what? I'm gonna be my own barista.
Yes.
I'm gonna be
Yes.
my.
I'm
I
not
will
that good at
support a small business every once
I
in a while.
miss
But I'm sitting
good
here with
coffee though.
listen. Cheers,
hmm
friend. Cheers. All right.
hmm
I will also reference this thing called Summerween, which is like Halloween during the summertime where you read like spooky
Fun.
books. Yes, you read spooky books during the summer. So I have three thrillers I want to read between June and July, and then I have
hmm
like three or four romances I want to read. I also have a book on my phone and on my Kindle by
Okay.
Mia Sheridan that's like a romance with thriller vibes called Unwanted. So
Ooh.
I don't own the physical copy, but I am a Kindle Unlimited girl. So I have my little Kindle. I'm reading a lot of books on Kindle Unlimited that I don't own physically. So yes, if I when I do reference that book on my Kindle Unlimited, I'm just gonna hold up my Kindle so that I can show you guys. So yes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, tell me about your first pick that you're gonna read this summer.
So like I said a second ago, I'm a big seasonal vibes. Like I'm a mood reader, which is, I love making lists as well. So it's very hard. I'm like, here's the books I'm going to read. And then I read none of them because I'm such a mood reader.
The
But
vibe.
I also love reading like summary books during summer, etc. And so the first book I have is Happy Place by Emily Henry. I've read the three that are published before this, which are People We Meet on Vacation, Book People, and Beach Read. So those are the only three I've read of hers. So I'm excited to read this. This is about friends going to a cabin in the summer, and I think there's the couple like broke up, but I think they have to pretend that they're still together. I think it's like fake dating esque. I really don't know what else is in here because with
Hmm.
Emily Henry's books, I don't care what the plot or the trope is. I just love her writing, and so I know I'm gonna enjoy it. Um, and then just look at the cover. It's just like people
It
jumping
is
into a
really
lake.
cute. For folks
It's
who
just
are listening to the podcast and don't see the
yeah.
cover of these books, like on Spotify, sometimes I only
Mhm.
upload the audio. The cover of The Happy Place is like a Barbie pink. It has friends in like midair hopping into water. Some are on
Hmm.
floaties. It's definitely giving what you would see at like the beach.
Yes. Yeah. So it doesn't even matter what it's about. It's Emily Henry and it's summery. So I'm excited to read this. And it's also been on my shelf for over a year. So I need to read it.
Ooh, okay. I'm
Yeah.
100% here for that. I see her name all over social media, and I think I
Yes.
have one of her audiobooks on Audible, but I just
Yes.
haven't read her yet.
So Emily Henry, her writing is really good. It's like romance books, there's tropes and stuff, but her writing, it's like the characters have like deeper stuff going on besides just the romance of it all. And I will say every every Emily Henry fan has a specific book that's their favorite. It's not like everyone loves all her books. Like there's a range. Like I definitely have my favorites and my least favorites of her books. They're all good. It's just like when you compare them. So for me, I love Beach Read and Book People are my favorite of hers that I've read, of the three I've read. But
Hmm.
yeah, so I'm excited to read this one.
It sounds good. I'm like, okay, so it's friends, it's a cabin, it's
Hmm.
giving summertime, but there's like deeper themes. And I do think that from what I understand about what you described, it falls in the category of like a contemporary romance.
Yes, yes, definitely.
Okay. All
Hmm.
right. I'm here for it. My first summer pick is I've been kind of on a Mia Sheridan kick. I really, really loved obviously Archer's Voice. I reread my special edition. It's somewhere in here, but I reread my special edition recently. So I'm going to start reading Unwanted by Mia Sheridan soon. I
Hmm.
don't know how to flip my Zoom, so I'm so sorry. Everything's always in reverse. I'm working on my iPad, so you're gonna see it. If you see this, it's gonna be flipped. But for my listeners out there who are only doing Audible, it is a cabin that is like reflecting on a river, and then in cursive it says "unwanted." This I think falls under like romance and like thriller vibes. So this is a suspense that has romantic elements. And the description says when wilderness guide Harper Ward is summoned to a small town sheriff's office in Helena Springs, Montana, to provide assistance on a case, she is shocked to find that their only suspect in a double murder investigation is a man described as a savage. But the longer she watches the man known only as Lucas on the station surveillance camera, the more intrigued she becomes. He certainly looks primitive with his unkempt appearance and animal skin attire, but she also sees intelligence in his eyes, sensitivity in his expression. Who is he? And how is it possible that he lived so long alone in a forest since he was a small child? As secrets begin to emerge, Harper is thrust into something bigger and more diabolical than she could have ever imagined. And is standing right at the center of it all is Lucas. But is he truly the wild man he appears to be? A cold blooded killer, an innocent victim, or a perplexing mix of all three? Harper must find out the answers to these questions because the more she spends time with him, the more she's risking losing her heart. It is 462 pages. That was the description on Goodreads. And
Hmm.
I just love Mia Sheridan's writing. Archer's Voice was so unexpected for me. Even though it's a very
Hmm.
hyped book, I was not expecting it to be dual POV in the past to the present. I was not expecting so much like well written like conflict and realistic responses to like real life problems. Like, oh, it was just such a good book that I cannot wait to read Unwanted. So that was my
Hmm.
first dip into like thriller romance in a long time. So yeah,
Hmm.
that's one of my book picks, and that's going to be on. It's actually on Kindle Limited, so I'm reading it there. Yes.
Ooh,
What is your
yeah.
next book pick?
My next one is The Honey Witch by Sydney J. Shields. This is a queer, I think it's sapphic, um, fantasy witchy story. The little tagline on the back says, "The Honey Witch is cursed to never find true love, but when she meets a young woman who doesn't believe in magic, she dares to hope for more." And I've just heard wonderful, like it's like cozy fantasy kind of vibes. And the cover, if you're just listeners, it has like there's like a key, it's like looking through a keyhole into like a pretty like old house, but there's like flowers and butterflies and sparkles, and it just looks so springy and summery. And I I love the cover vibes. I was like, I don't, I hope this book is good. I follow the author on TikTok, and she seems like a cool person. And I've heard some like good things about this. I've not heard anything but good things, but I've also not heard about this book a lot. So I'm excited to get into it. And I love a witchy vibe that's like not Halloween. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like,
Get
Yeah.
that? Like
Hmm.
year round, like a witch
Yeah.
during winter or spring or summer.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, like
Yeah.
similar vibes
Love.
is like practical magic, but before the Halloween montage. Yes, I actually own the Honey Witch.
Hmm. Hmm.
It's in my girlfriend's
Yes.
trunk. She's planning on reading it at some point. She says she's currently reading it.
Yeah.
So I'm trusting
Hmm.
her. So when she's done with it, I do actually plan on reading it. But it is currently in
Yeah.
my girlfriend's hot
Oh,
trunk. So I will read it at some point. But I cannot wait to hear your
yeah.
thoughts. Once I read it, I will listen to anything you discuss in that book. I can't wait to read it too. Also, Sapphic.
Yes.
Fuck yeah, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
That looks super,
So
super cute.
it looks really
Okay.
cute. It's been on my shelf too long. Now I need to read it.
Listen, the physical TBR is going to get read this year. What in the heck?
I'm trying. I'm
In this
trying my
economy,
best.
I plan on reading quite a bit for my physical TBR, so we'll get
Hmm.
there. The next
Hmm.
book I actually saw at my silent book club. Sometimes they have books in a box where like people have donated them, but they're no longer reading. So this one is from Book of the Month. It is A Killing Cold by Kate Alice Marshall. So this is one of my thriller picks. And inside, the cover is like tree branches and the silhouette of a door, but it's like blurry and it's all blue and yellow. And it says, a whirlwind romance. When Theodora Scott met Connor, wealthy, charming, and a member of the powerful Dalton family, she fell in love in an instant. 6 months later, he brought her to Idlewood, his family's isolated winter retreat, to win over his skeptical relatives. Stay away from Connor Dalton. Theo has tried to ignore the threatening messages on her phone, but she can't ignore the footprints in the snow outside the cabin window or the strange sense of familiarity she has about this place. Then, in a disused cabin, Theo finds something impossible, a photo of herself as a child, a photo taken at Idlewood. I've been here before. Theo has no recollection of her earliest years, but now she begins to piece together the fragments of her memories and realizes she's in a terrible danger. Someone here has shocking secret that they will do anything to keep hidden, and discovering what happened at Idlewood may cost Theo everything. And that is A Killing Cold by Kate Alice
Yeah.
Marshall. I can't wait to
Wow.
read this. I literally saw it for free and I was like, I'm gonna get it. So I got it. I have been in the
Hmm.
mood for like a spooky story. Summer ween vibes. I want to be scared in the summertime. So yes,
Hmm.
very excited for that. But
Yeah.
yeah. So what is your next book choice for the summer?
Again, summary romance vibes. This
Ooh.
is Ever After Always by Chloe Leese. Chloe Leese is an author I just started reading this year, but I've already read 5 books from her this
Oh
year.
wow.
I love her writing so much. She writes romance books with her goal is she wants to have everyone see themselves in a happily ever after. So she
Hmm.
writes a lot about a lot of neurodivergent characters
That's
um, and
fun.
other like representation of different disabled folks. And she writes with such compassion. Each one of her books and her characters, like I love them. But she has 2 main series right now. So this is part of the Bergman Brothers series. This is the third one. It's technically about a Bergman sister. But and each one follows a different sibling in this family. And then she also has the Wilmot Sister trilogy, which are Shakespeare retellings, which are also great. They're so good. But this one follows the oldest sister and her husband. They have like the little tagline says, "A marriage in crisis rekindled its passions in the second chance romance about going to the distance to make love last." So we meet these characters as they're going through a rough patch in the other books in the background. So like you kind of know that there's something going on, but we don't really know what. And this one dives into like how they kind of have fallen apart, and it's about them coming back together. But the cover, it's them on a beach, sunset. There's a big like hibiscus flower. It's just like it's summery, and I love Chloe Leese so much, and I'm just going to continue reading her series. I'm going to try and read all her books by the end of the year. Is like one of my goals because I love them. I love them
That
so much.
looks really cute. Also,
Yeah.
I love like neurodivergent representation.
Hmm.
I recently started watching Love on the Spectrum,
Yes.
and I have a sibling who's autistic. So for me, it's
Hmm.
like it's very important to see representation, not
Yeah.
only for like mental health representation, but also like
Hmm.
neurodivergent representation, career representation,
Yeah.
chronic pain. Like we
Yes.
need all of
Mhm.
that in books. So
And
this
Chloe
is
Elise, she herself has ADHD, and I think she's also on the spectrum, but she also deals with a lot of chronic illness issues. So it's not just, she wants other people to be represented, it's also for her as well. which I love. Like, and she does it with such passion, and she always puts content warnings on the front of books for folks. And I went to, I met her. I went to a book signing earlier this year, and
That's so cool.
I'm obsessed. I love her. I love her.
I love that. That is so I do want to go to a
Yeah.
book signing at some point this year. I want to go
Hmm.
to not as wholesome, but I want to go to SmutCon. It's like
Oh
a
yeah.
smut conference.
Oh, these books get smutty, girl.
Oh, I
They're
want to
smutty.
go. I want it's in Orlando. I really really want to go. So fingers
Fun.
crossed we can make it happen. But also just romance. Like there's so much diversity in the romance genre
Yes.
now. Like it's coming out. Like Hannah Bonham
Hmm.
Young, I really love how she has developed mental health, but also like
Hmm.
disability and different concepts in romance. There's just a lot coming out. And I'm like, this is really
Yes.
cool.
Yes.
Speaking of hearts,
Hmm.
I have another thriller. Interesting
Ooh.
though. This is Your Lonely Nights Are Over by Adam Sass.
I'm
The
obsessed with the
cover
cover.
is yes, the cover is two people. One has their arm over the other. They look shocked and they're wearing Letterman jackets and there's blood splatter all over them. And
Hmm.
they're walking away from a Ferrari with its lights on and it's nighttime and the writing is like neon pink. So it looks super, super spooky. This is actually on my wish list. I'm really grateful from Rebecca from Becca Marie. She's listed me from my Amazon wish list. So thank you. I keep all the notes, may I add. Whenever someone sends me a book, I keep all of them.
I love that.
So I love that. But the description of the book is Derry and Cole are inseparable, unlikable, and in bad luck for them, totally unbelievable. From the day they met, Derry and Cole have been two against the world. But whenever something bad happens at Stonegrave High School, they are blamed. Why? They are beautiful, flirtatious, and dangerously clever queen bees, and they're always ready to call out their fellow students. But they're never faced a bigger threat than surviving senior year. When Mr. Sandman, a famous, never caught serial killer, emerges from a long retirement, and his hunting ground is their school's queer club. As evidence and bodies begin to pile up, and suspicion points at Darian Cole, they will have to do whatever it takes to uncover the real killer before they and the rest of the queer club are taken down. But they're not getting away from the killer without a fight. Along the way, they must confront dark truths hidden beneath the surface of their small desert community. When the odds are stacked against them, and every flop they know is a suspect, can Derry and Cole take down Mr. Sandman before it's too late? Or will their lonely nights soon be over?
That sounds
Yes.
good.
Oh my gosh. And like the very first section of the book is what like pulled my attention when I got like
Hmm.
a sample of it on Amazon. It literally shows the number one streaming show in America is Your Lonely Nights Are Over, The Search for Mr. Sandman, a terrifying docuseries based on the best-selling true crime thriller by Peggy Jennings. So it's supposed to kind of give a wink at like Scream, but it's
Hmm.
queer. And I'm like, I'm 100% here for it. I love anything spooky with like queer main characters that gives
Yeah.
any wink to Scream. I love
Yeah.
the Scream genre. So yeah,
Yeah. That sounds fun.
thank you. So I was like,
Yeah.
that's cool. So yes, what is your next book selection? Tell me all about it.
So it's still romance, but we're going historical now, and it's Don't Want You
Ooh.
Like a Best Friend by Emma R. Alden. And this is a Sapphic Regency romance. I believe, I don't know if they're best friends or if they're frenemies. Have you?
I actually want to read that book. It's on my TBR. I own.
I'm,
Actually, you know what? I own
oh, we
it.
can buddy read it.
My bookshelf, bro. Literally, my bookshelf is so full of books I need to read. I also own this book.
Yes. Yeah.
I own this book too. Wait,
Yeah.
is this a sign?
I think we should buddy read it.
I think we should buddy read this book. This is
Yes.
a good decision. I stand by
Yes.
this. Oh my gosh.
I yeah, I don't know if they're frenemies or if they're besties. I just know that it's Sapphic and it's Regency. And I when it's I sometimes don't like reading the back of covers or back of books because like if it marks like if it ticks enough like yeses like this, it's like okay, it's Sapphic, it has a Taylor Swift lyric on the front,
Straight up.
and it's Regency romance. I'm like I'm sold, you
I know
know?
this author also references Taylor Swift in their
Mhm.
titles. They have another book that has a
Yes,
Taylor Swift title. It's like You're the Problem, It's You. It's something like that,
yeah.
which is
I
like for,
have yeah.
Swifty fans,
Hmm.
I think this
Yeah.
is a lyric from Dress. I think it is.
Yes,
Yeah, I think it's a lyric from Dress.
which is such a queer coded song.
Such a good song. The cover is two women in like Bridgerton style dresses, giving very much like cupcake. Pastel
Hmm.
mint green is one dress, and the other one is like a buttercream like yellow. They're in a crowd of people, and it looks like a beautiful party, and they're just staring at each other and they're smirking, and it's so pretty. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, this is super
Okay.
cute. I heard someone compare this to oh my god, what was that movie? It with Lindsay Lohan, and like they were trying to set up the parents together, and there was
Parent Trap?
yes, I heard that
Oh
this
yes,
is
it is
similar
Parent Trap.
vibes.
Yes, yes, yes,
Mhm.
yes. I remember someone saying that now. Yes.
But they're
Okay.
not,
I'm even more
obviously
excited.
they're not sisters, but like they are trying to
Yes.
set their parents up together, but they're
Hmm.
actually beginning to fall in love themselves. But the
Yes.
parent setup part is similar to the Parent Trap. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I love that movie growing up, so I'm excited to read
Yes.
it. Oh my gosh, we should read this together.
Yes.
What?
Buddy read.
Fun. Okay, that's a good decision. All right. Well, I will give you. You can read. Tell me about another one of your books because I totally like piggybacked on that one. So give me
No, yeah.
another.
Um, we're leaving the romance behind. And we're going to sci-fi, light
Ooh.
sci-fi. Clara and the Sun by I'm gonna mispronounce this. I'm gonna try my best. Kazu Ishiguro. This is turning into a movie in the future, and I will be doing it for my podcast in the future. But
Ooh.
I'm trying to read it this summer. This is about Clara, who is kind of like an AI robot, and she lives in this shop that she where that sells um, AI robots, essentially,
Hmm.
to humans to like for like chores and that kind of stuff. But then she ends up. It's about like friendship, and she ends up, I think, worshiping the sun because she doesn't know anything. It's sort of from the window. I should just read the back because it will make more
It
sense.
sounds good.
Yeah, so it says from her place in the store, Clara, an artificial friend with outstanding observational qualities, watches carefully the behavior of those who come in and browse, and of those who pass in the street outside. She remains hopeful a customer will choose her soon, but when the possibility emerges that her circumstances may change forever, Clara is warned not to invest too much into the promises of humans. In Clara and the Sun, Ishiguro looks at the rapidly changing modern world through the eye of an unforgettable narrator to explore the fundamental question: what does it mean to love? Yeah, and it's turning into a movie. I forget, they've already announced the casting. I can't remember off the top of my head, but my friend and I are going to do this for my podcast once that movie comes out. But I do need to read it, and I like a light sci-fi, like not like space battles with spaceships. I like more of like this kind of vibe of sci-fi.
Like more
So,
grounded. I like
hmm.
that. That sounds
Hmm.
really good. That reminds me. There's another book I want to read called Anybot,
Yes.
and I want to read. And it's supposed to be similar to the film Companion, which is
Hmm.
a lot more violent and spooky. But
Hmm.
like women's agency, the concept of love and control, and it does have non-spoiler. It does have an AI main character, like a
Hmm.
robot like main character.
Yeah.
So I know this is very different from your book. The sci-fi
Yeah.
elements. It reminded me. This is a
Yeah.
book I do actually want to dive into at some point.
Hmm.
So I was like,
Yeah.
ooh,
Hmm.
cute
A little
choice.
light
This is very
sci-fi.
cool. All right,
Hmm.
sci-fi. And also, I'm here for you going into a different genre. I'm trying to challenge myself
Hmm.
to spread out genre wise. Okay, so I actually recently got a book box from a wonderful author, which I'll have posted on social media. But this is Marigolds and Murder by A.K. I don't want to say their last name wrong. Is Ike Zoe. The cover is black and it has like a beautiful like tangerine border. It has marigolds and then what looks like a pocket watch kind of shape, but it's actually a little portal. It looks super cute. And the box came with like pictures of the characters. It had a confidential like little envelope. It had a little like elixir in it, tea bags. So cozy, but also like murder mystery vibes. I want to get more into murder mysteries. And if you take the sleeve off, the cover is like this beautiful satiny finish, and it has like the flowers, and it's just really cute and pretty. So
It's gorgeous.
it's so cute. So yes, I really cannot wait to read this. Pretty books with good stories, hell yeah.
Hmm.
So the description says, "What good is it to know the truth if you are powerless to change it?" Philadelphia, 1950. No one suspects that a private detective, Katsumi Ozaki, uses prophecy magic to solve her cases, but her uncanny intuition of finding the truth can't help her prove that her new client's wife was murdered. Not when everyone is convinced that the death was accidental. To make matters more complicated, Kat's new client is a exalter, afflicted with unpredictable magical abilities as collateral damage from the war. and her story stirs up Kat's own painful memories of displacement and love she lost. Luckily, Kat has plenty of practice burying her personal problems under a mountain of work. She sets out with her ethically questionable but trustworthy assistant to find evidence and catch the killer. But dread creeps in when she realizes she's being tailed. Is someone trying to thwart her investigation, or does the government still not trust her? Either way, Kat can't let her client down. And what if her magic tells her is real, and then catching the killer might not be enough? Not if she's going to be able to live with herself when it's done. This is the first book in the Exalted series. Marigold's and Murder is a queer fantasy murder mystery that blends World War II history with magic. Oh, I'm so excited to read this. I love anything that's like murder mystery. Of course, I love queer rep. So this just looks absolutely amazing. And I'm so grateful for the author for sending this to me because I'm like, let's go.
I'm excited to see how you like it because if you really like it, I'm gonna read it because it sounds really good.
Absolutely enjoy it. I'm like looking at the description of it and I'm like, why does the vibe kind of remind me a little bit of Death on the Nile? And it's kind of giving me vibes as well of like Knives Out with like the murder mystery, fast paced, so like there's a love lost and we're all trying to kind of figure out who killed this person. It looks like it was self-inflicted or like an accident, but it's like that's not. Oh, I love that energy where it's like all little pieces all come together.
Yeah.
So yes, I will tell you how it is after I finish it.
Yeah.
We can talk about it. Okay, so what is your next book pick?
My last two books are both middle grade books because I love middle grade books and I've always liked them, but I'm actually going back to teaching in the fall. I'm going to be teaching seventh grade English again, which is exciting. But I wanted to, get back in the middle grade mindset. The first one of those is called King and the Dragonflies by Kaysen Callender. And this is like magical realism, kind of fantasy. I'll just read the back. The dragonflies live down by the bayou, but there's no way to know which one's my brother. There are hundreds, maybe even thousands. King is sure that his brother Khalid has turned into a dragonfly. After Khalid unexpectedly passed away, he shed his fur skin for another and found refuge in the backwaters of their small Louisiana town. Khalid still visits in dreams. A secret King must keep to himself, that and the fact that he might be gay. As King watches grief transform his family, he comes to understand the beauty and redemption of learning to fly past the secrets that keep him from rising to his truest self. In this raw and exquisite story from the Stonewall Award-winning author of Hurricane Child, we see that love sets us all free. So definitely a hard-hitting book, but that's what I love about middle grade is that authors that, this author is well awarded, there's stickers all over this book, like authors that do middle grade well and can talk about these intense, deep things that kids deal with in such important ways. And I'm so excited to read this. And it definitely there's dragonflies on the cover. It's green. We have like a illustration of half a young boy's face, and it looks good. I'm excited to read this. It's gonna hit, some things,
I
but
can
that's
tell it's gonna hit
fine.
too. I'm like, I got a
Yeah.
little emotional hearing that because like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh, like yeah, like
Right?
that concept of like your loved one when they pass away that they become
Mm-hmm.
a butterfly or a dragonfly. I'm like, that's really beautiful. Like that's a very
Yeah.
beautiful concept of life. I know someone who
Mm-hmm.
believes in that, and I'm like, I'd
Mm-hmm.
like to think that happens.
Yeah. So I think it'll be, I love middle grade, and especially when they can talk about hard topics in a digestible way for kids. So I'm excited to read this. I've not read Hurricane Child, the other book that this author has written, middle grade book at least, but I'm excited to read this.
Ooh, I also looked up the author and they wrote Felix Ever After, which unfortunately is a banned book, but I've actually wanted to read for a while.
Hmm.
I also read their book Sunset Springs. It's free on Audible, and
Okay.
it discusses someone who went through transition and comes back to town after losing their job. It's very
Oh.
short, but they end up meeting
Hmm.
someone who defended them in school when they were getting bullied, and they end
Oh.
up meeting that person, and they end up kind of falling in love,
Oh.
and it's really really sweet, and it was just nice. So I would 100% read from this author again. They sound really awesome. So I'm putting that on
Yeah.
my TBR. Okay, so you stepped away from romance. I'm stepping into romance. So this is one book I've actually been saving for June,
Mhm.
and that is 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. The front is a man with his arms wrapped around a woman and her eyes are closed. And it's just so beautiful. I actually read her book. Oh my gosh, I read her book, A Love Song for Ricky, or Love Song
Mhm.
for Ricky Wilde. I did an entire episode about it. I love that book so much. And these main characters in this book make a appearance in that book, but I didn't know who they were. So
Mhm.
I mentioned it to a friend. I'm like, oh, I thought this couple was so cute in the book. They were briefly mentioned. She's like, yeah, there's a whole book about them. I was like, what?
Mhm.
And so I'm very excited to read this. It says 7 days to fall in love, 15 years to forget, 7 days to get it all back again. Eve Mercy is a single mom and a best-selling erotica writer who is feeling pressed from all sides. Shane Hall is a reclusive, award-winning novelist who, to everyone's surprise, shows up in New York. When Shane and Eva meet unexpectedly at a Black literacy event, sparks fly. But what no one knows is that 15 years earlier, teenage Eva and Shane spent one crazy torrid week madly in love and have been secretly writing to each other in their books ever since. Over the next 7 days, amidst a steamy Brooklyn summer, Eva and Shane reconnect, but Ava's wary of a man who broke her heart. Before Shane disappears again, she needs a few questions answered. And that is 7 Days in June. I cannot
Mhm.
wait to read this.
I've
Ooh.
I've had the other Tia Williams book that you mentioned, the
I love Song for Ricky Wilde.
I've had that on hold at the library and I still have to wait 5 more weeks for my copy. And I'm just like, I'm glad people are reading this, but I want my turn.
The audiobook has to be one of my favorite audiobooks I've ever listened to.
Hmm.
Both of the voice actors were just so beautiful, and like one of them has to have a very musical, like silky sonic voice, and he did. And I was like,
Hmm.
this adds to the character. I do have a physical copy of the book. I'll probably reread it as a physical copy, but I would even buy the audiobook. It was honestly that good. So I was like,
Yeah.
this hits. I hope that after you read it, you listen to my episode about it because I fangirled hard. I was like, I love this book and no one can tell me not to. I even did a fan cast for it. Like if it became a movie,
Hmm.
I was like, hear me out, hear me out. So yes. Another book I want to read. This has been all over social media. I actually won an ARC and I
Hmm.
got slammed by finals and I didn't get to read it. So now that the book is out, I'm like, hey, hey. And that is Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. I really,
Yeah.
really want to read this. It looks so freaking cute. The cover is someone holding someone else's hand. You see like a little bit of tattoos on his arm, and then you see her hand, and they're obviously in a pool. I really want to read this book because I read The Love Hypothesis. I thought
Hmm.
it was okay. I thought it was okay.
Hmm.
But I do want to give her another chance. I like that she had a lot of women in STEM in her books. I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
But I want to find one that hits for me. Like I want to read
Hmm.
Bride. I just keep thinking like maybe I just haven't found my Ali Hazelwood book yet.
Yeah.
So the description for this book is Scarlett Vandermeer is a swimming upstream. Sorry, Scarlett Vandermeer is swimming upstream, a junior at Stanford and a student athlete who specializes in the platform diving. Scarlett prefers to keep her head down, concentrating on getting into med school and on recovering from an injury that almost ended her career. She has no time for relationships, at least that's what she tells herself. Swim captain, world champion, and all around aquatics golden boy, Lucas Bloomquist thrives on discipline. It's how he wins gold medals, breaks records, complete focus with every stroke. On the surface, Lucas and Scarlett have nothing in common until a well guarded secret slips out and everything changes. So they start an arrangement. And as the pressure leading to the Olympics heats up, so does their relationship. It was supposed to just be a temporary, mutually satisfying fling. When staying away from Lucas becomes impossible, Scarlett realizes that her heart might be treading into dangerous water. This is 464 pages. That was my description on Goodreads. It looks really cute, and rumor has it, this was supposed to be titled Wet,
Wet. Yes.
but they changed it. So I'm sitting here and I'm like,
Yeah.
this looks very, very interesting. So it looks cute. I'm
Yeah,
excited.
I've not read that one. I've read her, she calls it Feminist series, all of the like
That's cool.
Love Hypothesis, and like I enjoyed them. It's very obvious that those were originally Raylo fanfics. I love a
Mm.
Raylo fanfic. Don't love Raylo in the movie as far as Star Wars, but I love the fanfics. So like nothing against fanfics, but it's just, I think I've heard from friends that each one of her books gets better and better.
Mm,
So if you didn't love The Love Hypothesis, I think you have a better chance of loving Deep End because she's honed her craft, right?
improving. Okay,
She's
I'll give it another
improved it.
chance.
Yeah.
I'll give it
Yeah.
another
I've not read it yet, but that's what I've heard from my friends who like her later books.
I will trust in you.
Yeah.
You just hear me out. Okay, what's your next one? I see a little bit of the cover.
Yeah. My last book I have is also middle grade. It's called Furthermore by Tahira Mafi. This is a
Ooh.
middle grade fantasy. It's a gorgeous cover. It's full of color. There's a few people. There's a fox. There's a ruler. There's a map. There's jewelry. It's just like maximalism
Ooh.
of a cover. So I'll read the little blurb. There are more. Sorry. There are only three things that matter to Alice Alexis Queensmeadow: mother, who wouldn't miss her; magic, and color, which seemed to elude her; and most important of all, father, who always loved her. It's been almost 3 years since the day father disappeared from Fernwood with nothing but a ruler in his pocket, but Alice is determined to find him. She loves her father even more than she loves adventure, and she'll have to embark on one to find the other. To bring father home, Alice will travel through the mythical, dangerous land of Furthermore, where down can be up, paper is alive, and left can both be right and very, very wrong. Her only companion is a boy named Oliver, who is an experienced guide with his own tangled secrets. It will take all of Alice's wits to make it through Furthermore and hold fast to the magic of love in the face of uncertainty and loss. So this is like it's middle grade, so it's like not Alice in Wonderland directly, but definitely inspired by Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
It's like that kind of like topsy turvy world. And if you look at the cover, the main character who is Alice, she is in like black and white drawing, whereas the rest is in color. So like something is up. It has like I think some like fae stuff in it as well.
Ooh.
But I have a friend, my bookish online friend who I've known for over a decade, and she loves this book like ridiculously, and I've had it on my shelf for years. I've not read it, so I'm like, I need to read this.
It's time.
It's time.
You're like
But
dusting off, like, oh, you can do it
yeah,
on social media. You can get a little bit of flour on top, like blow and like dust it off and be like,
hmm
it's time. I've come to
it's
see the
time.
baby. Why is it giving me
But,
vibes of like Inkheart, low key? Like, it's giving me
oh,
vibes of Inkheart a little bit because
a
she's
little
defined
bit,
the
yeah.
dad, and then in
hmm
Inkheart they define the mom.
Yeah. Hmm.
I've always wanted to see someone compare. Like, I never read the book Inkheart, but
hmm
I always saw people like talking about it, and I was like, I would kill for an episode of you talking about Inkheart, the film and the book.
It's it's on my list.
Ooh,
Ooh,
add it to the list.
ooh.
Add it to the list.
Yes.
That looks
Yeah.
really cool, though.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, fantasy
hmm
can be really like creative and exciting, and like
Yes.
I love how there's no like this couldn't be real. It's fantasy, so it's
Yeah.
everything's kind of on the table. I love
hmm
that. Also, it
Yeah.
can be a vehicle for like deeper themes, which I think is pretty cool.
hmm
I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
this is super cute. Okay, all right. I have two books left. All right, I okay. So my first book I ever did on the podcast, I did with like, my little baby Mike. I did it on my phone, and I did it. I was so nervous. I was trying to speak as quickly as possible. I wish I could delete the first episode. That's how like cringe I am, but I loved that book so much.
hmm
So now I'm doing a redo, and that redo is with another book from that author. You actually did an episode about a book from this author. You did Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey
Yes.
McQueston. I'm
Yes.
going to be doing an episode about The Pairing by Casey McQueston. I was a huge fan of One Last Time. It's my favorite book. But
Yes.
this I cannot wait to read. So The Pairing, the cover has two like people in an embrace on their shirt. One has a shirt that has the map of Rome on it, and it has like food and a passport. The other one has a shirt that is the map of France. It has lavender and wine and the Eiffel Tower, and they're hugging and then they're kissing, and their faces blur. And it says some things taste better together. And then I have the sprayed edges version, and it says
Beautiful.
some things taste better together. It has Rome on this side with like wine and
hmm
cheese, and then it has Paris on the other side with like croissants and the Eiffel Tower. So I'm super
This
super
book is
excited.
so good. It's
I can't
so
wait to read
good.
it. I
It
feel
is
like it's
the
perfect
perfect
for
summer book.
summer.
It's perfect for summer.
Perfect for summer. So
I'm
I'll be
so
taking
excited
this
for
with
you.
me. Yes, I will take this with me. The weekend of 4th of July, I'll be taking this with me. I'm going out of
Fun,
town, so I'll be reading this on my flight. Super,
fun.
super cute. So yes, the back says Theo and Kit have been a lot of things. Childhood best friends, crushes, lovers, and now estranged exes. After a brutal breakup on a flight to their dream European food and wine tour, they exited each other's lives. Time apart has done them good. Theo is a bartender and an inspiring sommelier with a long roster of lovers. Kit graduated as the reigning sex god of his pastry school and now bakes at one of the finest restaurants in Paris. All that remains in this unused voucher for the European tour that never happened. 4 years later, it seems like a great idea to finally take the trip solo, separately. It's not until Theo and Kit board the tour bus that they discover they both accidentally had the exact same idea. And now they're trapped with each other for 3 weeks on one of the most romantic sites and sensuous flavors of France, Spain, and Italy. But it'll be fine as long as they agree. As long as they agree, they're absolutely over each other. So when Theo suggests a friendly wager to see who can sleep with their hot Italian tour guide first, Kit is game. In fact, why stop there? Why not a full-on European hookup competition? But sometimes a taste of everything only makes you crave what you cannot have.
It's so good.
Oh gosh, I'm so excited to read this. Casey McQuestion's writing is so like enchanting. And I am going
Mhm.
to read Red, White, and Royal Blue because I've seen the film, yes, and I've listened to your episode, but I do want to read it. So I'm gonna read
It's
that at
good.
some point.
I love Casey's writing. I
Oh
love the
my
writing.
god.
Yes.
So I'm
Yes.
super, super excited. And then I have another book. I so these two books go together, but I've heard that they're also standalones. So I'm not gonna mention
Cool.
the other book I have. I'm gonna save that for autumn. But this book feels perfect for summertime.
Hmm.
And that is A Strawberry Patch Pancake House by Lori Gilmore. So this is love blossoms in the most unexpected places. This is one of my favorite tropes in it. The cover is a little like cottage like restaurant. It has strawberries. It has a little like cherry blossom tree. You can see pancakes on a little like picnic table, and you see a bunny that's like poking out of the door of the restaurant. It just looks super cute. So the back says a small town spicy romance. Hear me out, hear me out. As a world renowned chef, single dad, Archer never planned on moving to a small town, let alone running a pancake house. But Dream Harbor needs a new chef, and Archer needs a community to help raise his daughter. Iris has never managed to hold down a job. So when Mayor Kelly suggests Archer is looking for a live in nanny, she almost runs in the opposite direction. Now Iris finds herself in a whole new world, one where her gorgeous new boss lives right across the hall and likes to cook topless. Keep everything strictly professional should be easy, right? It looks so cute. I love single dad, small town romance, and I really, really enjoy like a cozy setting. I'm not a big video game person, but I have seen people play this game where it's like Stardew Valley. I've seen
I
the
love
aesthetic
Stardew
of Stardew
Valley.
Valley, and I'm like, I want to live there. So I've seen my girlfriend play it, and I'm like, I want to live there. So this very much gives that like cozy vibe, very like
Hmm.
the Gilmore Girls setting, but like a spicy romance that is like low stakes. And I need it. I need it in my
Hmm.
life. So I have her other book, the Pumpkin Spice Cafe one. I have that one, but I'm saving
Hmm.
that for like October, November.
Yeah.
So yes,
Yeah.
this is my. I also want to read the Cinnamon Bun bookstore, and I do want to read the Christmas Tree Farm. I just want to read them
Hmm.
like seasonally when it makes sense.
Yes.
So yes, those are our books for the summer. I'm actually gonna hold up my little book stack. I'm like, for people who can't see, it's like me just holding up a major stack of books. I'm like, wow, this is super cute. Oh my
And
gosh.
Midnight's like, I'm gonna go knock it over.
Midnight's like, I will also be here. But yes, I am just so, so excited to read all these books and to report back to us listeners.
Yes.
Also, please report back as well with your reads. Text
Oh,
me, let me
absolutely.
know, let me know.
I I'll be
Um,
updating you.
yes, where can everyone find you on social media? Where can they find your
Yeah.
podcast?
You can follow us on Instagram at Read the Book First Podcast. You can follow us on any major podcast platform, Apple Podcast, Spotify, YouTube. Read the Book First. Yeah. And if you just go to our Instagram, everything's linked there. So
Thank you so much for coming on the
Yeah,
podcast and discussing all your summer reads with me.
of course. Thanks for having me.
Yes, this is so much fun. Okay, well,
Mhm.
everyone who's listening, please like this on YouTube. Go support Janessa's podcast. And yeah, follow on Spotify. Thank you for everyone who listened and have a wonderful day. Bye.